back of the room where it is accessible to the public. Simpson.
Here.
Sisson.
Here.
McDermott.
Here.
Gibbons.
Here.
Urbon.
Here.
Hines.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Aldrich.
Here.
Thank you. If we could all stand, please, for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Amen. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 1, consent agenda. For this agenda, pay the claim that is submitted, for the treasurer's report, and D, special designated liquor license for July 29th, 2020 for the demo derby.
So moved.
Simpson?
I'll second.
Urbon?
Sisson.
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Urbon.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item 2, approve the minutes to the February 4th, 2020 regular council meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
Mike Sisson?
Second.
Gibbons?
McDermott.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Urbon.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carried. Item 3, it is now time for the public forum. If anybody out in the audience has something to bring before the council that is not on the agenda, now is the time and the place for it.
Just mention one thing. I'd like to compliment the city on the cleanup that occurred at Burlington and 7.
You noticed?
Noticed. It looks terrific. Thank you.
You are very welcome. Thanks PD and Street Department for making things beautifying Holdridge. Thank you. I will close the public forum. Item 4, open public hearing to receive comment on application to rezone lots 5 through 13, block 13, Einsold and Bailey's addition to the city of Holdridge, Phelps County, Nebraska, from C3 service commercial to I industrial for the purpose warehousing bulk agricultural seed. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you guys?
Good.
Do you have any questions?
I presume you replied, Taylor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. At one time you was looking to purchase some of the property from the state of Nebraska.
Oh, yes, yes. I still am. Yeah, they've been kind of slow. We're probably, I don't know if you know, but that's that piece that sits right along in between my ground and then the highway, and they just haven't came in and gave me a price on it or appraised it or anything. We did get notified by him. He was here and he talked to Ron Pfeiffer, and we're at least, I'd say 2 or 3 months out from even, knowing what they want to do with it, what they want to sell it for. So, I guess at that time we'll address that if I purchase it.
But that's not delaying your progress or your building, is that
No,
right?
no.
It's not contingent that you have that property to complete this project. Is that right, Mr. Taylor?
No, I don't.
Planning Commission had really no problems with it. They asked a couple different questions of him and he answered everything that they asked, so they were all for it.
And this will be bulk seed type of thing and you sell to?
I'm initially said I'm gonna the building, my plans are is for the building to go up. I am gonna do the groundwork for bulk seed tanks and stuff like that. And then I do currently have a treater to treat seed that is a kind of a box-to-box type of scenario. But it'll all be done inside the building. And then further plans on down the road is to put up the bulk tanks. Yes, sir. So.
You're looking to have hired employees too, is that correct?
Oh, yes, definitely, yeah, yep.
Didn't you say the other night possibly up to 10 to 11 people down the road if everything
Yep.
goes according to your plans?
What I'm planning, I guess that is the other side of this, it is bulk seed and then ag chemicals and stuff, yeah.
Any questions from the council? I will close the public hearing then. Item 5, approve the application to rezone lots 5 through 13, block 3, Einsel and Bailey's addition.
I would move to approve the application.
I'll second that.
McDermott seconds.
Sisson,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Burbine,
Yes.
Hines,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Aldridge,
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
And to go along with that, item 6. Approve ordinance 2436, amending the zoning map of the city of Coleridge.
First reading of ordinance 2436, an ordinance to change the zoning of the described land and amend the zoning map to reflect such change, to repeal all other ordinances or portions of the zoning map in conflict herewith, to provide for the severability of all parts hereof, and to designate the time described when this ordinance shall be in effect, be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska.
Motion to approve first reading.
So moved.
Aldridge. Second by
I'll second.
Burbine.
Simpson,
Yes.
Sisson,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Burbine,
Yes.
Hines,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Aldridge.
Yes.
Is it the council's wishes to suspend the rules?
I'll make a motion, we suspend the rules. I'll second that.
Mike Sisson, Larry Gibbons.
McDermott,
Yes.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Burbine,
Yes.
Hines,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Aldridge,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
Final reading, ordinance 2436. An ordinance to change the zoning of the described land and amend the zoning map to reflect such change. To repeal all other ordinances or portions of the zoning map in conflict herewith. To provide for the severability of all parts hereof. And to designate the time described when this ordinance shall be in effect. Be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska.
Motion.
I'll make a motion on final reading. Make a motion to approve the final.
Gibbons, second by Ben Johnson.
Burbine,
Yes.
Hines,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Aldridge,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Sisson,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 7, accept the Citizens Advisory Review Committee report for LB 840, local option and expo sales tax utilization from June 1, 2018 through December 31, 2019. Should that both be 2019?
Yes.
June 1, 2019 through December 31st. The semi-annual report.
Good evening. I'm Luke Burrell, for you that don't know me. I'm representing the Citizens Advisory Review Committee, or the PCDC Watchdog Committee. We met on February 12th, 2020, and reviewed the semi-annual public review with Ron and his staff. And we found no discrepancies. I believe the report is submitted there for your review. So.
I'm happy to answer any questions, review any parts of the program or the report with you. I would call your attention to the economic indicators report, which is the last page that we've added this year. That summarizes the market activity in several categories, including building and construction activity, where we had a very good year, more than $32 million invested in building permits. It's a 644% increase over the prior year. We continue to have low unemployment, which can also be a challenge. I did a quick look before we came into the meeting today. We have 122 people that are on the unemployment rolls at the end of the year. Right now, in a 10-mile radius around Holdridge, there are 357 open positions. You extend that to 25-mile radius, which is a typical commuting radius for us, there are 615 open positions. So we have far more job opportunities than we have people that are not working. Retail sales rebounded last half of the year, which was good news because at one point during the year we were tracking 19% behind the prior year level. We made up a lot of ground in the last 6 months. We ended up 3.1% ahead of the prior year numbers for Holdridge retail sales, and Phelps County motor vehicle sales ended up 7.3% ahead of last year. So all in all, a pretty strong year and a very strong finish. So we've got a lot planned for 2020, but this is 2019 in a nutshell.
Any questions or concerns from the council? If not, I'd like a motion to accept the Watchdog Committee's report.
So moved.
McDermott moves.
I'll second.
Jason Hines.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Erbon.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Aldridge.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Luke. Ron?
Thanks, Ron.
Item 8, presentation on municipal bonding from Cody Wickham from D.A. Davidson. Good evening, Mr. Wickham.
Good evening to you, Mayor. Thank you. I've got some information I put together in packets here for everyone. It's been a while since I've been in front of this council.
That's okay, we won't hold that against you.
Well, I've long sensed that, you know, this, for a city of the first class, you all have maintained a very low debt to valuation ratio, which is a good thing. But Dane reached out and mentioned that you potentially have some projects in the future, possibly water filtration, electrical systems, and then the ballpark projects and some others that you might need to utilize some different financing mechanisms to take care of. So this is just kind of an overview from the high-level overview of what you have at your disposal as far as capacity and your different avenues that you can go for financing. And I guess I can just jump right into it here. On the right side of the folders this is just kind of a good news of where we're sitting in the bond market. We've seen rates take significant drops over the last 6 months. The top graph is a 20-year graph of AAA bonds, and the box that's in the upper right-hand corner of each of these graphs shows just some statistical data. The low that the 20-year AAA bonds have ever been was February 3rd was at a 1.61, and on February 10th we're at 1.64. This is over the last 10 years, but you could really take this graph back 50 years. We're basically at record lows right now for municipal bond rates. The middle graph is 10-year AAA bonds, and similar story. You can see the latest is a 1.18. That was just on February 10th as well. So we're kind of bottoming out in terms of where rates have been. We're doing a lot of refinancings for different entities and issuers across the state. So timing is good if you do have projects that you that you might need to tackle. I guess is kind of the gist of that bit of information there. If we want to jump to the left side of your packet, so I mentioned the water filtration system, electric system, potential projects. Because of being a city of the first class, you would need to utilize your combined utilities funds for those types of projects. You can't issue general obligation bonds without a vote for those types of projects. You all have done a good job of getting your utility system in good shape. When we refinanced those bonds a few years back, there was some coverage ratio issues. I just updated a couple graphs here for you guys to take a look at so you can see how you're sitting. 20 on the left side is just a quick box of fiscal year ending 9/30/2018. So your net operating income, just the revenues minus expenses, for the last 2 years are showing negative, but when you add back the non-operating expenses, the depreciation, amortization, and interest received, you've got your total available for debt service down below the double line, and then your debt service for each of those years I put in, and the page right behind this graph actually shows what your debt service is going out to 2028. We solved for level debt service when we refinance those bonds, so it just varies a little bit based on interest. It's not a perfectly flat scale, but it basically bounces between 215,000 and 219,000. So in 2018, as you were kind of righting the ship and getting where you needed to be as far as a coverage ratio, you had a 1.508 times coverage ratio, and then this last year it improved up to a 2.412. Now again, your revenue minus expenses was still in the red, which that would be a council's decision if you wanted to increase rates to kind of get those numbers with a further coverage rate, especially if you're potentially looking on taking other projects where you're going to increase your annual debt service. It might be a good idea, but as far as what your current covenants are on your utility system revenue bonds, you're mandated, required to have a 1.25 times coverage ratio, and you're looking really good at a 2.4 right here, for 2019, and that's based off your draft audit, I should say. So everything looks good there, but again, if you're going to tackle new projects, might be something to consider as far as a rate increase on some of those various enterprise funds. So utilities look good. On the back to the right side, behind those graphs, the municipal market updates that I have, I ran a couple just scenarios of what you could do through general obligation within your 45-cent constitutional levy limitation. So without holding a vote for, that would be these ones that were on the right side of your folder behind the graphs. So within your constitutional levy lid, you can issue certificates of participation to finance various projects. It's got a pretty broad spectrum of what you can do within that, and that was actually the lease purchase certificate of participation is what we did for kind of the first wave of the ball fields. It was approximately 975 or 925,000 for the first, to get that project off the ground. I understand that there's a ways to go to finish off that project. So your current total levy was just over 40 cents, basically 40.05 cents. So what I did on this first scenario was take whatever the remaining balance that you have, so roughly 4 point, let me get the exact number here. $4.394 roughly, just call it 4.4 cents that you have left at your disposal to go up from 40.5 up to 45 and see what that would generate within your lid. And what it came to was about $1.6 million. I did 15-year certificates of participation, if you look on page 2 of that report, and I just used a rough estimate of 3.5. I think that's high, but that was really just a placeholder, not knowing when you guys would potentially look to move forward with this project. So these are conservative projections, but I think if that was all that you had at your disposal, was that extra 4.5 cents to go up to 45, you could generate about 1.6 and tackle any projects that you may have. Now, the estimates that Dane had sent me for the ballparks was closer to 3.1, and so I ran what that would look like if you needed to generate that type of money through a certificates of participation. So this would be the
the second report on the right side of your packets. It says par amount $3,225,000. If you flip to page 2, it's got a bond debt service schedule going out to 2035. Annual payments are approximately $280,000. If you flip one more page, page 3, this shows the tax levy report based on your current assessed valuation. I kept it flat for the next 15 years. So the required levy on a generating 3.1 million would be approximately 8.6 cents. So you've got, again, 4.4 left that you could jump up to. You'd need to shift some pennies around and move another, 4.2 cents from your your current operating budget and kind of pledge it towards this debt service if you wanted to try and borrow this capacity of lending here. Now, the last piece that I put in here, just kind of for your information, was you all do have pretty significant highway allocation receipts each year, and I looked at your forecasted for this coming year was about $727,000 of highway allocation receipts to the city. So I ran what I call just a max fill solution of what you could bond in general obligation highway allocation pledge fund bonds to see how much you could use for street projects or anything else that would fall under highway allocation. And that's a pretty significant number, because if you take that 727 going out 15 years, it generates about $9 million up for things that, again, that would fall under this umbrella. You could utilize this fund to potentially free up some pennies to go elsewhere towards a potential certificates participation project. So you've got a lot of borrowing capacity in your highway allocation fund, a little bit less in your general fund, what you can do for certificates unless you move things around, and your combined utilities, kind of the sky's the limit with that if you're willing to increase rates.
Are ball fields under highway allocation?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh, I just,
Like there's some money available if we want to increase the taxes.
Yeah.
Tax rate.
No, so the certificates of participation, that's the beauty of those, is you're operating within your general fund or within your levy limitations, so that's just approved by a majority vote of the council. If you wanted to go beyond kind of what we're projecting as what you can generate here, then yeah, you could always hold an election for any type of project, and with voter approval, then you have an unlimited bonding authority that is beyond your 45 cents.
We've been fortunate enough to hold at 40 cents for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
that might be our problem.
Yeah, again, you know, for a city of your size, you've had a tremendously low debt to valuation ratio historically. You guys have just been a great job of maintaining your finances without having to take on debt. Should be commended.
Any questions for Cody? Cover interest?
Yeah, as far as your other, the little debt that you do have outstanding, you know, we just refinanced those issues here recently, so you're in a good spot. There's really nothing, you know, every time you refinance, you lock back in for another 5 years, so your call features on those won't be for 2 years on one and 3 on the other respectively, so those are in great shape and really nothing you can do with them for now, so I think everything looks really good. If you guys need to take on some of these projects, you need me to refine some of these numbers and put in, you know, current market rates with tightening up total project funds, I'm happy to do so.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You don't need to accept the presentation. We just thank you for your presentation, Cody.
Yeah, very welcome. Good to see everybody.
Thank you very much. move on. Mayor is polling item 9 will be on the next agenda, and I am also tabling item 13, the East Street Gap paving project. Item 10, approve the Village of Atlanta water well maintenance agreement.
This agreement allows us to go down and take care of the Atlanta wells and do what needs to be done with it. It is supposed to be done every 2 years. And after going through the records and whatnot, I missed 2018. So the village board approved it on Wednesday of last week. The only minor change that I put in it this time was that underneath the term part, the last sentence, any and all communication necessary to complete the assignments will be between the City of Holdridge personnel and the village chairman. That is just so whoever from the city is working on the wells or doing the work, they only have to answer the chair instead of having all the board members come and talk with the individual. It's kind of makes it confusing of what needs to be done. So they will answer the chairman, and that's the only thing I changed on it. But I guess Dane has the signed agreement from Atlanta, so once it's approved, it'll go into effect.
We've helped Atlanta out for quite a few years, is that correct?
Yes, yes. Supposed to have a grade 4 license to be able to open the wells and do all the work what they need, and right now Lisa's the primary individual that goes down there, and she has a grade 3 license, which is a little bit better. So, but the other personnel that help out also have the grade 4 license to go down there. So.
Okay. Any questions for Kim? Motion to approve?
So moved.
McDermott, move. Second by
Second.
Doug. Simpson.
Simpson. Get that key in there.
The other ass.
This is.
Thank you, I appreciate that. At my age, thank you.
Gibbon. Gibbon.
Yes.
Burbine.
Yes.
Hine.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item 11, approve a bid for a new police vehicle. Purple.
Candy apple red.
There you go.
This afternoon, Dane opened the bids. These are the results of the bids. Two people, Jansen Sons Ford, with a bid of $33,910, and Anderson Auto Group, the state bid of $34,198. We discussed that with my committee. I think they're probably the same exact bids that we had from last year. Nothing's really changed. And nothing was changed in the specs for the vehicle, so we pretty much we'll be getting the same vehicle from Ford. So
It's a pretty wide delivery date for Jansen's, 120 to 180 days.
yeah, it took a little longer than 120 last time too. I'm suspecting that it would be much shorter than 180 because all the police departments were wanting to get Ford Explorers last year when they restructured the vehicle, or redesigned it, I should say. So I know there were probably a lot of orders for those vehicles. I think it's probably gone down a little now. I think still if it would run a little over 120 days, we would still be fine with that.
What's the committee's recommendation?
No, it's business as usual like last year. Nothing's really different, so we make a motion to approve it.
Ben makes the motion to approve it. Second by
Which one?
Which one you approving?
Which one you approving?
Jansen's or
Jansen's.
Anderson's?
Yes. Good.
we have a motion. Second by
I'll second.
Mike Sisson.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes.
Gibbon.
Yes.
Burbine.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, members of the council. St. Louis Red, Mr. Aldridge.
Thank you.
Item 12, approve the purchase of new alternative daily cover applicator for the landfill.
We have an ADC machine out there right now that it's a glorified hydro seeder that's on the back of a truck. But the truck breaks down quite often and it doesn't get over the garbage. What this is from Nebraska Road Builders. The Finn Corporation is a member of the NJ, the National Joint Power Lines, and that's why we can buy it outright without bidding it. But this is also a hydro seeder, but this is the picture on this. It's built for landfill purposes. That's why it's an LF 120. It's got the undercarriage is reinforced. It's got the solid foam tires. So we would tow it with our loader at the landfill. We went through an approach numerous years ago to approve the alternative to cover at the landfill to save space, you know, with covering so much with the dirt and whatnot out there. We have used asphalt shavings before to help cover too. But this will allow us to hopefully use an ADC, allows us to give length of the landfill, and I'm really pushing that it lasts about 11 years.
The machine and
The landfill. Because then I might be retired by then and I don't have to worry about a new cell.
You also mentioned this one sprays about 180 feet compared to what we've got doesn't have near the
Correct.
distance.
This has 4 different nozzles and it sprays a maximum of 180 feet. What we could do is we could put a cover on, we could cover it and see how it goes, but also the guy said that we need to make sure that the thing's emptied every single night. Otherwise this stuff will harden and you'll tank. Because you can't mix it up and wait till the next day. You've got to use it at the same time. So it's a $1,000 tank, 1,000-gallon tank capacity. So what they would have to do is once they get it, they'd have to put 300 gallon and see how far it sprays. Our working face is usually 100 square feet, maybe, except on Tuesdays. Tuesdays we have more packer trucks, so we have a bigger working face. But right now we need to cover the whole thing again, just do the moisture and whatnot, and we just haven't been able to get it done with the other one because we just can't get it out there. It doesn't have the reach, and you can't drive over garbage in a truck.
You also mentioned you've been going through more dirt.
We've been going through a little more
That was getting
soil,
to be an issue too,
and that just worries me, just the standpoint of when we've been approved for the ADC, it's nice to use that because it really helps us with the soil aspects of it.
Kim, how often do you have to use something like this?
We do it every day.
Once a day?
We're required by our permit with the, well, not DEQ anymore, DEE. We're required to do it every day. You're required to cover every single day.
You have to wash this out at the end of the day then? after
Well, if
that?
they empty it, the salesman said if we empty it, we shouldn't have to. But it does, if you notice that there is with the option, the air flush, that we'd probably do that minimum of once a week, just to make sure we keep this thing clean and efficient.
I was wondering, would that, be on the sides and stuff, would that get that harden up on the, if it's just stuck there on the side, would that harden up if you don't wash it out?
Well, we'd have to wash it out, like I
Yeah.
said. And yeah, it will harden up, but he says you do not want to leave anything in it.
I don't know that you ever have any wind issues at the landfill. Would that ever affect us when that does happen?
When we have wind issues, we're allowed to close anytime it's over 35 mile an hour gusts, so we usually do close. We do have windscreens out there now that they've been repaired that we're utilizing. So if we do have a wind, they just come out and we don't let the public in. We try and let the commercial trucks dump. But then we just cover with soil right away, just so it don't blow. And then the next day, they gotta come in and they gotta spread it out and compact it. But we do have 3 employees out there that work. And then at this point in time, if we have that, we can load the machine up even in that morning and get things covered the way it needs to be covered.
Any more questions, concerns? If not, need a recommendation from the council?
Committee was on board.
What's that?
The committee was on board.
Sounds great. That's what I'd like to hear.
I'd move we approve.
That's,
And I'll second that.
and Mary seconds.
Sisson.
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes.
Givens.
Yes.
Burbine.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we will skip item 13 for hopefully next council meeting. We will go into open discussion before we consider items 14 and 15. Chief? Yeah, 7th and Burlington looks nice.
Well, things worked out well. It helps when nobody's living there, it's abandoned, but Kim and his crew helped out and we were able to get a big start for it. And we did have to keep some of the stuff and it's in the common yard. The rest was discarded. It's all been noted and photographed and whatever to make sure we're covering
Cool.
what we did.
Dennis, when's the sod coming in?
The sod.
Sod.
I think that will be in the back of the St. Louis Red Explorer.
And why stop now? You got to keep it going. Let's get her spruced up. Right across from Mr. Bob Rager.
My wife.
Yes.
We received a lot of compliments.
Yeah, a lot of people. Did you say, Kim, people who drive by giving thumbs?
Yep, and we had a couple phone calls too, so.
Cool. That's nice. Dane?
No, thank you.
Mr. Rager?
Go in March 10th for surgery.
Good.
Get her over with.
Okay. Troy?
Nothing?
Kim? Kim. Happy birthday to your wife.
Maybe
Jason.
you guys need to.
Jason,
we need to all put these tags in this one.
It's been a good couple weeks.
Nothing. Thank you.
Ben?
I have nothing.
No, thank you, Mayor.
Along with cleanups, I see we had a burned out house got taken out too up on 11th this week too, so that property looks good.
They have a miniature golf course out there now.
Is that what it is?
Used to have a hole in one, I think they covered it up.
To the north up too.
They did what?
They're fixing the house up to the north.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they've got that.
Cut all the trees down.
Yeah, so
Gutted it and completely redone it, looks like. So,
every little bit helps.
Yeah.
progress on that block. Yeah. Mike?
my part.
No, sir. Go to the spot. Mary?
Nothing this week, thank you.
Larry?
Nothing?
We had a tree board meeting today, and Paula Titus announced that after Arbor Day, she's gonna step down. She's one of the founding individuals, I believe, back in 1992 is when it started. And she announced today that after Arbor Day, she's gonna stand down, so,
She's done a lot for the tree board.
yes, she has.
She's been very committed to that, so, cool. Brian?
Nothing.
Mary?
No.
And today was the last day for the incumbents to file for city council. I think we had one. Is that correct? Larry Gibbons filed for.
Yep.
That's on my notes for tomorrow morning on the radio. A lot like the Plains Motel sign. Welcome to Holdridge. Help wanted.
That's still up there.
That's still up there. I chuckle when I drive by there. It's, yes, I know where they're coming from.
That's up north.
I would entertain a motion to go into closed executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Larry Gibbons, Mike Sisson.
Erbach,
Yes.
Hines,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Aldrich,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Sisson,
Yes.
Dermott,
Yes.
Gibson.
Yeah.
But it's not even 9 o'clock yet. I don't know, but Two Rivers.
Way to stick in there.